Hi, thanks for tuning in again today. Please like, follow, subscribe, and leave a comment. So, continuing the rating down of Magicon Chicago. I'm going to rate the staff and judges. By staff, I mean Pastimes and WotC employees. As far as organization goes of the whole event, I would give them a 7 out of 10. They did not set up things in the correct way to make it easier and more accessible for everybody, especially people with disabilities. I myself do not have one, thankfully, neither does my wife. However, for people with disabilities, they did have short lines, but they were on the farthest path from the main route at most places. um, on top of the way they had everything set up, where they had the microphone and the speakers set up, did not make it easy for anybody to understand. There was nothing to stop you from hearing every other speaker that was going off. So it was chaos. You couldn't understand anything that the employees were saying as far as when it came to your events or beyond event stuff. So if they decide to do it there again, which I hope they do because it was a nice venue, they really need to organize it better, set it up better. They also ran out of space in the command zone to the point that they had to put tables and chairs outside of the area that they had originally set up for the command zone. Um, yeah, so their organization is only going to get 7 out of 10 beers because, yes, it was organized to what they expected, I think. I'd like to assume. However, there's a lot that could have been done to make it better for everybody. Um, Next, moving on to politeness. Uh, politeness, I never had any issues. From what I understood, nobody ever had any issues with any Magiccon staff or judges not being polite, not answering the questions to the best of their knowledge, giving you what they could for what they knew. I would give their politeness a 9 out of 10 just because, yes, they may have been polite to attendees, but I witnessed several times that Magiccon employees, I don't know if it was Pastimes or WotC, were extremely rude or disrespectful to the security for doing their jobs, mind you. Several times I saw the employees from Magiccon be disrespectful or extremely rude to security for trying to do their job to the best of their abilities. So if it wouldn't have been for those few instances I seen, they would have been getting a 10. However, Pastimes WotC, you're only getting a 9 out of 10 because you may have been good to attendees, but you weren't good to the other people that were working. As far as professionalism goes, I'm setting the bar very low on this. Um, Unfortunately, professionalism does come with getting along with other people that are working. You hired security to do a job, to protect us, to keep us safe, to keep everything secure, and to be disrespectful to them in front of attendees, call them out for trying to do their job to the best of their abilities in front of attendees, I think you failed overall on professionalism. As far as the rest, things go that you can typically throw under professionalism, yes, they tried to be as professional, as casual as Magic is. But when you're disrespectful to security, that's a really low bar for me. So you're only getting 6 out of 10 beers because you didn't do a good job being professional. Um, As far as events go, run by Pastimes Watsy. Um, yeah, that you failed. You absolutely failed. On demand, completely could not pop off because they didn't have enough tables set up. So on demand was supposed to be where you come, you have your vouchers, which are essentially cash vouchers. Um, you have a full group, boom, it fires off. Well, they ran out. So that that whole day Saturday, there was literally people waiting at 10 o'clock at night to still do their on demand events. I think Friday was pretty much the same way as far as on demand events go. As far as ticketed play events, I was not in a single one that started on time. My wife wasn't. Uh, Everybody I talked to had the same issues. Events did not start on time. I get that you want to try to wait for everybody to get there, but at the same time, we paid money for these events. These events were set to start on time. If somebody does not show up on time, it is their own fault. Yes, if I would show up late for my event, I would be a little upset. However, it was my responsibility to get there on time. It is not your responsibility to wait for them. Everybody else has other plans too. And if you start an event late and it goes late, well, guess what? If I scheduled multiple events, I'm going to be late to my next event. Sorry, we can't wait around for everybody. So, um, as far as events starting on time goes, they absolutely failed. There was nobody I heard had a good experience of events starting on time unless you did on demand and you were there right away in the morning, first ones at the table. Uh, Sunday, I did a little bit of on demand and literally got there right after they opened up the doors. Waited for a little bit. Boom, we fired it up. Before we had even opened all our packs, because I did a draft, almost all the tables were full again. So you're only getting 4 out of 10 beers there because you failed. Absolutely. That was miserable. The event started, thankfully, but nowhere near on time. As far as Magiccon goes, the knowledge of Magiccon for the employees, I'd give a 7 out of 10. Um, Everything was on their phones. You know, they were able to pull up everything so they could get you the answers. However, pointing you in the right direction, they did not do a very good job of. When it comes to the official merch store, though, they did not know how things were supposed to go. They did not know because things did not come in on time, and they assumed that we were supposed to pre-order them, and that's why they were not there. And it was just the knowledge of the employees for Pastimes and Watsy of Magiccon, all the knowledge they knew what was on their phones. So you're only getting a 7 out of 10 there because you should know what you're selling. Overall, I'd give you a 6 out of 10, a high 6, granted, but y'all just did not do that good of a job. It was something people spent a lot of money on, and I think you could have done better. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people saying that everything was great, but truth is, it was not. It was not a waste of money, but we spent money. So thank you, everybody. Have a nice day.